My hair keeps tickling my ears.
Hello.
Um,
Hi. I called social services to see if I could get a good number for a caseworker, and you do have what they call SSAD, which is basically there's two functions of it. There's some meal assistance, which you're not interested in right now, and then there's some transportation assistance. And I called and left a message so that I could get the right name and number for you, so that it could be called at the same time to find out what the transportation services will offer you and how far they will drive you when needed. And then I called economic assistance and didn't get anywhere. And then I called a place called the DEVS program in Gary to see if they had anything closer. And they are going to call me back if there's anything worth pursuing for you. I talked to them about emergency housing, emergency funds needed for shelter, and advocates. Do they have any advocates? And then I called a group called CAP WN. They're in Sydney.
They're in Sydney. Brenda Dickinson used to work for them.
I don't know anything about them. And I just asked, and they said, like, can't talk to anybody until Monday. And then on the DHHS site, it said Kimball County Transit was the provider for transportation for that area, but I didn't get the caseworker to figure out, or I wasn't able to get in touch with the caseworker to find out how that works and how you access that. And that's all the further I got. I asked each one of those if there was anything that existed out there. I also got a call back from Disability Rights Nebraska, and I explained the situation to them in detail, as much detail as I could. And they don't handle any criminal cases. But she said she would talk to her supervisor and see if they had any ideas of anybody that could be potentially helpful.
Making calls to make calls to make calls.
So what?
We're making calls just to make calls to make calls.
Well, not from a lack of trying. So that's where I've got tried to find emergency shelter, tried to find emergency money.
That's the thing, ma'am, is that shit is hard to come by. I needed that stuff to live on.
I don't know what else to do.
I told that attorney about multiple crimes that were committed against me. He just wasn't listening.
I think if you want him to look the next 7 days, be trying to pin down a couple of specific incidents as best as possible, so that is ready for him on Wednesday. That's the best I can think of. I called the Colorado Public Defender's Office, and your application was approved. I called the court because I asked them, can you appear via phone? And she said that was the court's decision. And I wasn't able to get a hold of the court yet. But it's still just 3 o'clock there, so I could try that real quick.
All they're doing is wasting my time and money, ma'am. I can't defend myself. I can't take care of myself. I'm tired of being victimized, ma'am.
I don't know what else to do. One place told me that the police departments have Salvation Army funds to give for hotels, but I know that's not an option.
I got those emergency funds while I was in Scottsbluff right after I got out of jail. They only give it to you once every 6 months.
Is that in the state, or is that per place? Like, is there are there police in Sydney?
That's with the Salvation Army. It doesn't matter where.
Okay.
If I'm in Sydney and I use the services there, and then I go to Scottsbluff, I've already used the services.
Okay. The only place I haven't called today is Region 1. See if there's anything they can do. I can do that. Would you like me to do that?
Well, ma'am, I'm going to let you know that Region 1 is one of the places that I have to make a report about. When I said that these people did nothing and they worked together to screw me, I meant it. Jen Beebe outright lied to me repeatedly, just like Scott DaCosta did. People who have a government paycheck are all on the same side, automatically. Region 1 collects public funds. Our taxes go to pay Region 1 to do what it is that you did for me. Way back at the beginning, Jen Beebe was supposed to be helping me with that starting in December of 2019. She never got back a hold of me. That's why I ended up, thank goodness, running into you. Then after you did all of the things that Jen Beebe was supposed to help me with, she starts telling me that she can help me with those things that you had already helped me with. I need to be able to make a report, ma'am, and I need to be able to function to do that, and I need a place to process.
Yeah, I understand. I'm out of ideas. I've literally tried everything I can think of.
Well, see, that right there is why I broke the law. I tried everybody that I could think of. All these places that I called, if somebody would make those calls with me, it might make a difference. But right now, I'm tired. I'm exhausted, both physically and mentally. Ma'am, this is never going to end. I had to break the law to get a court date because I didn't have any help in person. You know, the first time I broke the law to get a court date was August of 2018. That's months and months and months after Natalie was killed. Did you get Todd's number?
I saw that text, yeah. But there's been too much crisis today to look at anything else.
Without help in person, I have zero hope, ma'am. Their idea of help is to separate me from my loved ones, force drugs into me, assault me, and then pretend like I'm the bad guy. I am tired of this, ma'am. All of my court dates I could get redone, but I need someone to step up and make those calls with me and go through that evidence in person. I've been trying to do this online. Like, I get overwhelmed. I'm trying, but all they do is slander my name over and over again and harm me over and over again. I break the law because I have to. I've tried everything else, just like you, except I've got 4 years experience under my belt. You see, people don't understand it until they see it and experience it, and then they realize how fucked up it is. Ma'am, I broke the law because I was being harmed and nobody would do anything. Just tell me pretty words like you have to love yourself. Loving myself doesn't stop beer bottles from bouncing off my head. Loving myself doesn't get me the money to be able to defend myself against these predators. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. What's that got to do with getting me a lawyer and getting me help in person? The cops can do whatever they want. Anyone can do whatever they want to me until someone shows up in person to help me make these reports against these people. I can't function. Right now, I am scared shitless. I have nowhere to go. I would love to do all these things, but I can't function. No matter what, they ignore all of the shit that I'm going through. They make every excuse why it's magically okay. Even that fucking lawyer.
I have to disagree on that one, but that's okay.
Ma'am, what the cops did was break the law, and they did it repeatedly. They abused their position of power to have me harmed repeatedly. I got all the names and all the dates. Well, a lot of the names and dates. But I got to go through all of that stuff to find it. But I can't function because there is no safe place for me to go. That's the thing, is that I literally take this abuse until I can't handle it anymore, and I break the law to try to get help. We made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. I've literally made thousands on my own. Thousands. You've made at least 10 phone calls today, if not more. You've probably made over 100 phone calls altogether. I need to be able to turn in those officers, and I need help in person to do it. I need somebody who is actually going to sit down and help me sort this shit. Somebody who's actually going to listen to the story instead of continually interrupting me. You listen pretty good. You listen a lot better now that you've been through a bit of it.
I listened for a long time.
Yes, ma'am, but now you're understanding a lot of it.
There's nothing I can do. I've tried literally everything I can do.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's supposed to be things in place to prevent this from ever happening.
Right? I can't do anything about the last 4 years. I can try to do something today. And even today, I can't there is no options. If you don't have a community member or somebody that will let you stay, which you don't, then, housing's out the window.
I just have to take the abuse.
Or I don't know. I wish you didn't have a court date in that county, but you do now, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I called everywhere I could today.
Well, ma'am, the stuff that you're doing now, and I understand it's not your job, and it wouldn't have had to be specifically you. But if you'd helped like this from the beginning, it would have made all the difference in the world.
Well, the first 5 months I knew you, I helped in the only ways I knew how, which was to try to get you off the street, try to get you money and food. And I did those things. And then once I had you off the street with money and food, I wasn't capable. There's a lot of things I can't discuss. I know this is going to end up on YouTube.
It's all right. You don't have to discuss it.
What's that?
You don't have to discuss it. The fact that it's your personal life that's preventing you from helping me, and the fact that obviously I have been trying to get help.
Correct.
At least that shows that I was telling the truth.
Right.
See, that's the thing, is that all these people that I went to for help, they all had their own personal problems that prevented them from keeping their word.
Well, the problem with the amount of stuff that you have to go through to do what you need to do is going to take months of time with somebody sitting there with you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to take a day or two or a week or two.
If I'd have had help before Natalie died, it would have taken about an hour, if that.
But the only way to go backward, to work backwards, I don't know. What do I know?
Ma'am, they dragged it out intentionally. They would not requisition evidence intentionally. They intentionally pretend that all of the other crimes against me never happened. I get that it'll take months. I totally get that. That's the thing, is that I am shut down because of all of this. I have made those calls over and 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 over. I needed help in person, not people telling me what to do or how to think or how to feel, but actually helping me make those reports about my predators. And I started trying to do that before Natalie was ever killed. Nobody cared. If nobody cares, does that make it okay to commit these crimes against me? That's the thing, ma'am. That slander made it so that I can't be anywhere safely. Everybody that I could have gone to, I was cut off from over a murder I didn't fucking commit. There's supposed to be safety nets in place to prevent this from happening. The problem is, none of those people listen to me. None of them listened to me. My public pretenders didn't listen to me. The judges wouldn't even allow me to fucking speak. Four years of fucking hell. I need help in person. And you're not able to do it. Nobody was able to do it. Lots of people were weekend warriors who had promised on the internet but never follow through. A lot of those people who were promising to help me weren't helping me. They were trying to help the Bollingers to frame me, to harass me. That's the thing, is that these things are illegal and I need help in person. You know why Dallas didn't help me for the whole last year? Because he was too fucking depressed. It's not my fault that he's too depressed. Now he's fighting to get his fucking kids back. And Scott DeCosta gets to use that as leverage. You know, it was pretty fucking clear and concise before Natalie died. I was screaming at the top of my lungs for help.
I just don't know what to do.
I spent the first half of 2017 being extremely nice to Natalie, extremely nice to Maddie, and extremely nice to Alicia. I let them know that I was getting treated like a child molester. I didn't think that I had to explain what that all entailed, but it didn't matter because I got blocked. Now, I blocked Natalie and Alicia when I left Virginia. I blocked them. I was done with them. The only reason I unblocked them is because I was being fucking assaulted. I went to everybody that I could for help. They wouldn't fucking listen. They were too busy giving me fucking advice. Meanwhile, in order to go see those people, I have to go to places where I'm fucking assaulted. And now I have to worry about being assaulted by the fucking cops everywhere I fucking go. Assisted suicide needs to be legal. I can't handle this, ma'am. I can't handle this. I can't handle it.
I don't know what to do. There's literally nothing I can do. I've done everything I can do. And I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I don't want to suggest things that you've already tried. I don't want to bring up things again that you've already tried. Part of me wants to try to help problem solve it, try to figure it out, try to see if there's options, try to think outside the box, but there's nothing I can do. I can't. There's literally nothing I can do. I did everything I could do. I wrote a letter. Initially, I've said that. I wrote, a second letter and also helped get your statement articulated onto paper so that it was clear. And I've called every service I can think of. I've called looking for, I know homeless shelters off the table.
Ma'am, in order for it to be a safe environment, I have to be able to go through this stuff.
And I'm just talking about even 24 hours. I mean, even that is off the table. I don't know what to do. There is no place. The only place was the housing authority, and that's not a place.
That's the thing, ma'am, is that there are situations with all of these places. Region 1, that's one of the places I need to turn in. The housing authority, that's another place I need to turn in. I needed evidence from the housing authority for my court dates in Colorado. And all of that I have saved, but I have to unbury it. Forcing a human being to go through this is immoral. It is better to shoot somebody in the head than to do this to them. It's more humane. Dead people feel no pain.
I can't. I can't be a part of that.
I'm not asking you to kill me. I am trying my best to have hope, and there is none.
Well, again, I can't. If I were to say anything to give you any hope first of all, I can't. I can just make calls and I can try to find places and I can try to find people and I can try to write letters. and I can try to give your information to people, but I can't give you advice, and I can't tell you what to do. That's what a guardian would do. They would give you advice. They would tell you what to do. They would, you know,
That does no good if they don't know what's going on.
But
I said that does no good if the guardian doesn't know what's going on.
But even if the guardian knew what was going on, they would still tell you what to do. They would still advise you what to say and not say. They would advise you how to protect yourself and not disclose everything so that everybody knew exactly what you were thinking and doing. They would guide you. They would start telling you what to do.
Well, ma'am, I don't need someone to tell me what to do. I need them to sit with me and help to fill out these reports.
Yeah.
But I am in a state of panic for a reason.
Yeah. Well, and when you're in a state of panic, there is really nothing to. There's nothing I could say or do to help you. There are things I'd like to say and do, but I'm not going to. I don't know. I can just continue to make calls, continue to try to do that executive functioning stuff that is hard for you to do on a good day. That's about all.
I can't take care of myself, god damn it. I can't take care of myself. I can't take care of myself. I can't defend myself from physical attacks. I can't defend myself against the police. I can't defend myself against the Bollingers. I literally can't defend myself against anyone. I just have to take it. No matter what, I just have to take it. Over and over again, I just have to take it. I made all those calls before Natalie was killed. Did you know that? I didn't call the Nebraska State Patrol. I was still hoping that someone would help me to stop the abuse. And then Miss Peaches finally, right before Natalie was fucking killed, said she was going to help me. We were going to sit down and work on it after dinner. And I pulled out the chorizo and I pulled out the pan. And that's when the call came in. I finally got help. I needed that help. I needed Miss Peaches. I went to Miss Peaches about the situation with Natalie in December of 2016. That's the first time I went to Miss Peaches about it. But she couldn't make the time to listen, and she couldn't make the time to listen. I was there for 3 days. 4 days, sorry. And she was going to take time to listen to me. Every night she was gonna. But she had to sell pot so that she could make ends meet. And then she had to have social time with Raja. And I have to understand that. And I do. But I don't have that. And after 4 days, finally she was willing to listen to me. She had to be half drunk, but fuck it, life is what it is. And she was listening. And then A-Bear woke up and he was a fucking asshole. And Miss Peaches acted like a bear for almost that entire year. Almost an entire year of hell. And I had evidence of that in that fucking phone. Ma'am, somebody has to do something about the abuse I'm enduring.
What? I've done everything I can. I don't know what else to do.
Ma'am, there is too much for me to function. There's been too much for me to function since before Natalie was killed. And everybody gets to take advantage of that. People are allowed to scream at me. I'm not allowed to scream back. People are allowed to hit me. I'm not allowed to hit them back. People are allowed to threaten my life. I'm not allowed to threaten them back.
I need to be able to call. I don't want to not be able to call the court and not be able to do the parts that I can do.
Yes, ma'am. It's almost 3:30. I'll let you go.
Okay. Bye.
God, I wish I could fucking die of COVID. Fuck this. Fucking fuck this.